How easy is it to hate on Jerry's style if he's pulling a normal person?
Right.
If Jerry's pulling Joe top roller, everybody's like, I hate that floppy wrist shit.
Yeah.
If you're pulling Michael Todd, and here's the thing, if Jerry Caddorett's trying to win, he's going to floppy wrist press. Right. Not because he's going to act like he'd go on the hook with you, but he's lying.
Right.
The fact is, his move is that press. And if Michael Todd's going to win, if he's going to wrestle someone awesome, he's going to be in the King's move. The fact is
hey, he wasn't.
Michael didn't need to do that.
He didn't drop that much.
And you don't need to with Jerry,
really
because Jerry's going to do what Michael
tried
to do.
The first match, I mean, Michael was down, you know, he was playing defense in the King's move quite a bit. I thought Michael looked much bigger, much stronger. I mean, and
I don't know how you could say he looked much stronger.
Well, when I say, I'm saying by appearance only.
You mean much stronger
by appearance
for him
only? Yes,
right, I got you. Because Jerry looked huge.
Right, he did.
Too. But the fact is I don't know why anyone would really have a problem. Like, neither one of them did anything that you didn't know they were going to do.
You can't get mad at somebody for knowing what they're going to do.
And they did it really well. Like, Jerry's press is really good, man. I have been there, and when he gets his shoulder between your shoulder and your hand, and he's in there, you're in an interesting place. If you put your weight on your elbow, you will not have enough side pressure to finish him, and if you stand up over top of it, your elbow will go flying off the back of that pad. He puts you in a very strange position, and there's not much you can do about it after the match starts. And we saw it, right? And what we saw was Michael Todd, with Jerry being exactly where he wanted to be, Michael just fighting and fighting and fighting and never stopping. And that's huge for Michael Todd, and it doesn't surprise me. That's his MO. And I think that we should stop throwing a whole lot of hate and just recognize that they're both good. And I'm going to tell you something else. I will fucking kill both of them guys, man. Are you shitting me? Oh my goodness. I am the best arm wrestler in the WAL right now. I'm telling you, well, I shouldn't say not right now, but I just need a date. Just give me the date, let me start getting focused, and I will absolutely crush Michael Todd. You know what? Michael Todd's too insecure to fuck with me, right? He knows that, like, you know, you can talk shit, but when your dad walks in, you watch your mouth, right? Michael Todd has been around me for 22 years, and for 21 days, 365 of those days, 364 of those days, I have been his daddy, right? One day he was able to win, and that was because I was his granddad. That day I was running the whole tournament.
Right. Well, right? That was, you know, what we touched on earlier when I talked about being in the zone and being like working yourself to that crescendo. What I was actually alluding to that. Probably that moment, because I was there and your anxiety was through the roof. You were worried about it running well. Yeah, you're pacing around.
And there's no money. There's $1,000 for the winner. I mean, listen, I know I wasn't the man because I could barely win left-handed.
I will say
it was the hardest thing. The first match I had was against this Joe Nobody. No disrespect to you if you know who the hell I'm talking about. But it was like I'm supposed to run through this guy, and I'm like, oh, today's going to be different, right? Because, you know, you're in Las Vegas, you're drinking, you're acting like a fool, and then I'm literally working 12, 13 hours a day. So, and I know Michael knows that, right?
Michael was in, he was zoned in that moment too. He 100%. Was turned up.
And because of the Chicago moment, he got real in his feelings. Right. And you know, he's an emotional guy.
Well, you know, and you know, just kind of watching the energy at the end of 506. And you know, I was standing right beside that match when that happened, and Michael got turned up for sure. And it felt very similar to the same energy that he had at the end of 506.
Because there's a little bit of like crybaby bitch in his voice too, like.
Right? Nah, he looked a little.
Well, I know, but that's the thing about him. Like, maybe, but he's so gung ho crazy. It gives me the crybaby vibe.
I mean, I was worried for you, Travis. I thought I was going to have to like protect you.
As you could clearly see, I was really worried too, because Michael has just. I mean, I've seen Michael in MMA a lot, right? He's a bad dude. Are you shitting me? Come on. Michael's been in 2 fights. One with Rebecca and one with his stepson. Okay, he's 1-1. All right. Come on here, Mike. I'm not a fighter, but you're not either, okay? Let's just be that honest, right? All right, so Michael acted, I think, like a straight girl at the end of that thing. Well, but I don't blame him.
Well, devil's advocate to that is I mean, he has a legitimate argument. And like when we start talking about the WAL and the criticism that it gets from other leagues and everything, and we know it's loose rules, you know, and I've become accustomed to them, and a lot of us have. But there's times where there's a lot of gray area, and you know, the runner thing had happened earlier with Jerry, and Bart said, you know, you got to keep pulling Mike. I don't know if he was or wasn't, but he was arguing that he was. No, and at that point, they were so blown up that maybe he was pulling, and Bart couldn't tell because they were just like there might have been no pressure there.
No, and I think
so
too,
he had a point. But my question is, because I side with Michael Todd on that. He's correct by the letter of the law, but my question to him, and I'll ask him at some point, what was the real motivation? Was it to make the point? Because if it was to make the point, then I agree with it wholeheartedly. Now, if it was because he did not want to continue another round, then I think that's a different animal. Yeah. However, I thought he was in a pretty good position. I think
he did not want to pull again, and he had the letter of the law on his side.
I mean, I thought he was in a good position, though, right?
Clear fact, if he doesn't go crying, they restart that match in the strap. They were headed towards that.
Right. Now, and here's the other piece to it. Had Jerry was largely quiet through the whole time.
Of course.
Had Jerry had he lobbied, do you think that he could have had some sway?
Could have, but let's be honest. Jerry almost died. Right? Motherfucker almost had a heart attack and died. Okay? You are officially retired because our insurance will not cover your big red ass dying on the thing, right? Your cardio is hideous. I mean, I smelled sausage gravy through the TV when you were breathing, okay?
His cardio isn't hideous. You know how long that was?
I'm just telling you, we almost...
Travis, we just did a workout. You can't talk about cardio.
Jared would die if he tried to do that workout, okay? Jared, you almost died. You fucking know it. You're done, okay? Insurance will not cover you anymore, okay? And you totally weaseled out of that match at the end because you were done. You thought, just like Mike, that you had an argument in order to stop it. I get it. But I understand, right? Like, I've never been in that match.
Right, that's what I was just about to say.
I've been in matches that were not even close to that, and I wanted to give up.